On today's video, I wanted to share with you some quick tools that you can have in your arsenal whenever you're doing HVAC repairs. Now, oftentimes the first thing you want to do is you want to find the actual leak. You want to isolate where the leak is coming from. Obviously, you want to connect your gauges. If you connect your gauges and you see that you are low on refrigerant, at that point, you're going to want to determine where that leak is coming from. A lot of times, it's going to be here at the Schrader valve itself. Usually, you have two places where that happens. First, if you open up this cap, you'll see there's a little valve inside of there. That's called a Schrader valve, almost like what you have inside of your bicycle or your car. And what happens over time is you see this little rubber gasket that goes inside the Schrader valve. It starts to dry out over time, and that allows the refrigerant to start leaking out. Also happens oftentimes, which is often overlooked when a technician is working on an AC system, is the king valve. And you see here what happens oftentimes is this valve will actually start to leak as well, but it goes unnoticed because there's a cap on top of here, and unless you actually take out the cap and you fill it with leak detector, like a liquid leak detector, you won't notice. What happens oftentimes is when you put leak detector inside of here, it'll start to bubble up. Here's some things that I would suggest when you're dealing with a leak. Obviously, you can determine by shooting it with nitrogen, which I do have a video posted. And there's many different types of different solutions in locating a leak in your HVAC system. This has been very effective right here, this specific leak sealant. And I mean, I've used it many times before. The system continues to work without any issues as far as with the refrigerant and pressures, and this has been very helpful. Again, these are only effective if you're dealing with a small leak, especially like on the king valve. Secondly, this is another product right here that works really well. It's called Nylock Red, and this is only like 10 bucks. You can use it on about 5 to 6 different units. And basically what you do is you would pour this into the top of the king valve, and then you would put a rubber gasket on the cap and then seal it. If this video was a help, if it was informational, please subscribe.